all the way in Switzerland, and you're tuning into the Black House Fire Radio, and you're listening to Massive Wagwan. Andrew Robinson, your Jamaican brother, there, reaching out to all the massive on the African continent, and you're tuning into the Pan African Bliss Show with your host, none other than Joey, from Monday to Friday. Stay tuned. Andrew Robinson, love, respect, and justice for all. Big up, Massive.
Greedy. I'm gonna step my feet off the car. Steady. We see me step ready. Drip ready. Just on a wash doggy. Mansi ready. Ana ito bitch. Ana ito bitch. Ana ito bitch. Hey, greedy. I'm gonna step my feet off the car. Steady. We see me step ready.
Hey, greedy. I'm gonna step my feet off the car. Steady, shedding his team, let's check it on. Crazy, steady with the back on the zone. Tabidi Maguire, steady me wrong. Tadani me kakusana. Steve Sana, Jovila Mandela na China. And see a pana, Tadani Kisuna Matata. Chicks Sana, Tabidi me songa iwa sana. Bada za pigi nacheza na beti, zangu na saka Natasha. Kila wakati kuwasha, kana pandisha mizangu mashasha. Kaniyo maji na kata pasta, dani na bemanga sasa. Kaniyo pesa nataka sasa, vile naipendanga sana.
Queen, I'm gonna step my feet off the car. Steady, we see me step ready. Drip ready. Just on a wash doggy.
Manzi,
Baby.
anaitwa Betty. Yes, karibuni sana to the Pan African Bliss Show. This is the Black Hot Fire Network radio station, media of the 21st century.
I'm gonna step my feet off the car.
Shout out to you, HR the messenger.
We see me step ready.
Nakucheki sana. 24 minutes past the top of the hour. We're just getting started. When he hater. When he hater HR. But anyway, karibuni sana family. Hope you guys are doing amazing. This is the Black Hot Fire Network radio station, media of the 21st century. I go by the name JOBY. For those who are here for the first time, a quick shout out to everyone with me on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok, on the radio station, on Rumble, on our network. Karibuni sana. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you're having a good week so far. An amazing April so far. And of course, karibuni sana, where today we shall be having an amazing conversation, which comes in with me ranting, because I don't understand where we Africans have gotten to this point. It is quite a sad situation, quite a sad debate that we have to be talking about this while we're supposed to be focusing on much bigger debates like unity, not us being xenophobic. We're talking about South Africa, which is our major conversation of today. And we know in the next coming month, which the elections date has already been set, South Africa is supposed to be actually taking it to the poll, and they're supposed to be conducting their elections, where we shall be seeing who's the next puppet or true leader who shall be selected, because we've seen with the recent election that occurred in Africa, that is in Senegal, we have a very young leading politician. He's a politician, yet to know if he is a leader. I still stand on that. For those who are still asking what's my decision, I still stand on calling him a politician, because we still don't know if he's going to accept the call from the Niger juntas, who we see Niger junta, and that is also Mali, which recently has been asked to actually also decide if they are going to also hold an election to go back to a fake democratic state. So that is what we shall be talking about, because the rise of xenophobia has really increased, and that is on the South Africa border, where we can see this is happening, especially right now that the country is about to head on to the elections. I have an article to share, and of course along that we shall also be talking about what is happening, rather what happened this week. Kenya and Ghana did sign a deal. I don't know how many of you did see that, and which these deals comes with so many promises, because I see where these countries are supposed to be working together in terms of improving things like technology, science, tourism, education, and also governance and defense forces. And these also two countries are looking forward to how each other and work together. And they're also talking about need to also get rid of the borders, which I have a video to share from both President William Ruto and Nana Akufo-Addo, and to see what they really were promising people. I've seen Ruto talking about division, how the Western powers control us, but what is really happening in Kenya? Because why isn't the country working since you got into power? We do need answers. And also along that, we shall also be talking about Zimbabwe, where we can see that actually the country has declared national disaster, and this is because of drought. This comes in hand in Zambia declaring the same, and also the next country, which is Libya, also did talk about the same situation. Personally, I feel like it is crazy that we keep on talking about all this situation, but we need to keep Africans on the know. I won't get tired of talking about it. We need to let them know that we have funded farming, which comes with the Melinda Bill Gates Foundation, and this comes with a very dangerous consequences, like where we've been forced to now practice into genetically modified farming and all that, introducing literally nothing but an inorganic food into our bodies. So karibuni sana. We shall be talking about that, and also Togo, because this week we saw that Togo did actually, that was last week or this week, I'm not sure, but I did report this. If you have been literally paying attention, Togo, we saw that they did change their constitution, which they changed it from a presidential nation to a parliamentary system, and we discussed about that, but I see that actually they're also postponing their elections. This is because of the constitutional change that did occur. But anyway, karibuni sana. I hope you guys are doing great. Shout out to Smart J in the building. That is our top discussion, and of course let me share the link with you in case you want to join and have this debate with me. And of course, karibu sana. Back to the music. That was Danny Intronics we started with, and I want to go back to still one more jam and come back with the quote of the day, as you get to see what is happening in other countries of the African continent. And this is by the one and only Burna Boy featuring Jeremiah Secret. Hope you guys get to jump onto this one. I'll be coming back with much more of what is happening on the African continent.
For a long, long time, when you awake or sleeping, say my name no time. I don't want to sleep, baby, oh, but I got my wife. I know you want to be my wife. So let me tell you something, I never relax, and don't be tripping on the because I be back. Your friend them in your ears, them a chat, you know what I listen and I.
Shout out to Peter One in the building. Sana to the Pan African Bliss Show. My name is Joby. If this is your first time right here, yes, and welcome to today's conversation. 30 minutes past the top of the hour. What's the time on your end?
Can you keep a secret
For a long, long time, when you're awake or sleeping, say my name no time.
I don't want to sleep,
Baby, oh, but I got my wife.
you want to be my wife. No, me young, but that no means I'm love. Making I'm trying to show you how I'm coming back. You will be talking crazy because I make you come ever. Every time I get closer, closer. It's making booty and choke. March like a soldier when I tell you come over. Yeah, I know you want to spend more time, spend more time. I know you want to spend more time.
Yes, and my quote of today is the way I'm feeling. Friday just called. She'll be here tomorrow, and she will be bringing wine. I don't know about you, how you feeling, but that's how I'm feeling for me. Yes, and of course, karibuni sana to today's conversation. This is the Pan-African Bliss Show. My name is Joby. In case you're here for the first time, a quick shout out to Smart J in the building, Pirawan in the building. Thank you so much for tapping the screen. I really appreciate you. 1K already in it, and we're just getting started. Shout out to Isaac Masika coming back. Karibu sana. Shout out to also ni brush ama ni brush. Karibu sana. Una brush nini hiyo hapa TikTok. But anyway, welcome, and I hope you are doing amazing. Shout out to also Genovia Rosa. Karibu sana. I also see you. Hope you're doing amazing. It is amazing to see you, and I'm glad you did get to catch me today on the conversation. I hope you get to dive in, and also let me know what are your thoughts regarding what we shall be debating here today, where I said our major conversation shall be going to South Africa, where we can see the rise of xenophobia has actually increased, and this is as the country is supposed to be heading to elections that is coming this next month. So stick around as I shall be taking you through the article as you get to see what is happening. But as we get started straight is what is happening between Kenya, my very own country, and Ghana, and this is quite something very positive, but we're talking about two puppets who we've been seeing actually being the number one leaders. And I want to take us back a little bit, some few months, that was last year, where we saw Ruto being asked to actually support in imprisoning the people who are actually behind the killing of innocent people, and that is the civilians in Congo. He said he doesn't want to be involved. We also saw Nana Akufo-Addo when Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali were being demanded by the UN, being sanctioned different ways. Nana Akufo-Addo was one of the people who actually were sitting down with Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, discussing on how they can literally return these two countries into the fake democracy. So we're talking about two countries which are ran or led by two African selected puppets, and at the same time they want to fool people with this one, because this is actually where easily manipulated when it comes to these presidential speeches that are always made and which doesn't even add up. Majority of them are lies, and we don't, because Africans have not been told the truth from the beginning, fall for the lies. That is just the truth. But what is happening, rather what happened and took place, that was actually on, let me get to see the date of the article. That was on 3rd of April, actually yesterday. No, not really yesterday. This happened during the weekend, either yesterday or the day, either on Tuesday, because I saw on Tuesday and I didn't discuss or debate on it. But Kenya and Ghana have signed 7 agreements aimed at enhancing bilateral ties between the two countries. President William Ruto said that most, including some signed by business association from Kenya and Ghana, are aimed at facilitating trade and investments between the two nations. Other MOUs, I don't know what MOUs really mean. I want to get the full meaning of that, and I'll get back to you guys and let you know. Other MOUs include, I think, agenda. I think that is agenda, if I'm not wrong. Other agendas, let me assume that is an agenda. Other MOUs include cooperation in science. Yeah, that is an agenda. I assume. You guys can let me know if maybe you know the meaning. Yeah, it is an agenda, right? I don't know, but I'll check onto that. Other MOUs include of cooperation in science, technology, tourism, education, and governance, and defense. And I want to start by that. If really, truly, African countries were to cooperate and work together from the moment you are elected, which is what they make us believe, as a leader, the moment you are elected as a leader, you need to actually, number one, drop the borders. You need to start trading with other countries. You need to start cooperating together. But the question is, Kenya since 2022, when we had our president put into power, what we've seen happening is him signing deals that actually do not favor us. We are having Kenyans literally suffering the consequences of heavy taxes, which are being imposed very heavily on us. And this is the whole continent of Africa. Ghana, we know it is actually one of the top amongst highly indebted countries in the continent of Africa today as we speak. So what is it that Africans, if I am literally to pose this question to majority of those maybe who paid attention to these debates, what do you think that this guy has literally to bring back? What do you think he really has to bring back to the people? Nothing. So I want to read a little bit more, and then I'll be sharing the video as we get to continue. They're also saying that this is President William Ruto and Nana Akufo-Addo. They're saying that during my discussion, we have noted that these agreements are significant in the evolution of our diplomatic ties, which stand on warm and cordial, dynamic and impactful history. Made the remarks during the press conference as President Akufo-Addo's office after the two leaders held talks during Ruto's state visit to Ghana. President Ruto commented Ghana's decision to remove the end of the year, a move aimed at enhancing the continent's integration. Kenya also did away requirement because so far, just to pause on that, we know that only 3 African countries right now are visa free. I'm trying to check. I think Malawi was the current one, and I'm trying to check on from Google, but Google is not really giving me the and Malawi. But I can also see Gambia has been added on board. Shout out to you, Kit. Karibu sana. Hope you're doing great. Shout out to you, Neteru. Hope you guys are doing amazing and well. So, yeah, Kenya also did away with the visa requirement for visitors from all the countries in January this year. But which, remember, also is a scam going on because we have our people paying electronically. Yeah, electronically. There's a certain type of online payment method going on for you to come to Kenya. So it is a scam because do remember we had some Malawians, so many people from other African countries who came and alerted that this is not what happened. Kenya is still charging people to get into the country, and you need or do require to pay visa. They also added the commitment aligns in one of the goals of the African continent, free trade area to create a single market in the continent and to drive economic growth, job creation, and poverty eradication. But the question is, we know that so many African countries actually are involved in Goa, and we've seen countries like Uganda into anti-gay lobby, like, when they say that we do not want to participate in this, which is back in in debate. We're waiting for what Museveni is going to be talking about. We're waiting for what Museveni's decision is going to be. Is he afraid of sanctions like what we can see Nana Akufo-Addo is backing off from? We need to be very careful. We need to look at these puppets in a very different angle as much as they're promising us so much. But let me share this video very quickly of what both of them had to share and say during this agreements and deals being made.
It is possible for Africa to provide solutions rather than just being part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And for a long time, Africa has been defined and profiled as a continent of trouble.
Who is the reason? Number one, who is the reason? Who is the main reason that Africa is labeled the way Africa is labeled? Number one, let's just question that. Who is the reason? Because according to my own analysis, I came to figure out that these leaders are the main reason why Africa is profiled the way it is profiled. They are the main reason. You act weak. You don't know how to say no. You have no power. You control no resources. You're easily exploited. The Europeans and the people who colonize your countries still run you and dictate you. You have not changed the system of education. So what are you telling me about? Come on, Ruto. We know better. The same person spoke about we don't want to be summoned anymore. We want to see the chairman, the CEO of African Union being the representatives of African leaders. African leaders, we have so much to do in terms of development and infrastructure, and we don't have time to be summoned. So we need the AU board, the CEO and chairman to be the ones representing us. But immediately, what was the recent summit that we had? We saw Ruto there, actually standing in front of the same people he mentioned. So no, we cannot keep on buying this. That is what I'm trying to say, African people. We cannot continue taking these words of, round of applause for Ruto one more time. Round of applause for Nana Akufo-Addo. He made us believe that, you know, democracy restoration is very possible, because that is what they're selling here. First withdraw from the fake democracy, where you need to first withdraw as a president, you know, resign. Just resign. There's nothing you've done. Let the people select who they want them to, who should lead them. Let the people be the one to make a choice. We don't need no US monetization when it comes to elections. We want to make decisions. Has any one of you said that? No. Oh, the CIA was here just the other month. Can someone confirm with me on that? Yeah, we did.
Conflict, war, disease, and poverty. But we believe that that's not half the story. Correct narrative is that Africa is a continent of opportunity.
Oh.
And significantly changing the narrative is our assignment. During our meeting, we have noted that peace and security is fragile, not only in Africa, but across the globe.
Oh, peace and security is very important. Okay, Mr. Ruto, we know very well in Samburu County, in Turkana County, we're talking about the northern parts of Kenya, we have oil. These places, we know it's a very funded war, destruction going on there. Have you trained any of your troops to go and maintain peace and security there? Or are we so much focused about Haiti, Mr. President? You know, some things, this is just so crazy. And this is why they want to silence us, because people now have freedom of speech to talk and express themselves, especially through TikTok. And they just do go viral, because there are people who are literally copy and pasting what has been happening in Africa is a copy and paste situation. So if I get to talk like this, express myself, and get to question like you like this, I'm very intelligent. Because you can't tell me you're so dumb of a person. You forget your actions and what you're supposed to be doing. Maintain peace kindly. When you're Koko Nyuma. It is crazy. I always say, personally, I always feel like if I can judge these people, I have so many questions, and I don't think they can really beat me up right now. You said this. You think Africa needs to be protected, and we do require to actually be serious when it comes to our security enhancement. But why are you taking your troops to Haiti? We don't need troops in Haiti. We need our countries first worked on. How do you go to your neighbor to clean your neighbor's toilet while yours is very dirty? You know? Why can't you clean your own mess first? You sound crazy.
Internal strife, conflict, and wars, compounded by terrorism and violent extremism, are a major obstacle to peace, security, and stability. Statistics show that the number of people killed and forcibly displaced by crisis in Africa has been increasing over time. As of 2023, over 37 million people have been forcibly displaced in Africa, and 6 countries account for 64% of forced displacement.
Okay, so the question is anyone talking, if you talk about displacement, we know it is happening in South Sudan, in Eritrea, in Ethiopia, in Djibouti, in Somalia, in Zimbabwe, excuse me, because right now we're talking about drought in Zimbabwe, where are people literally not even being displaced? Why are people moving up and down? And I'm not saying Africans do not have the freedom to move. We do. You should. But right now, most of the African people are being forced to move because of so many forced conditions, which should and can be worked on. But nobody is bothered about that, especially you, Ruto. Shout out to my internet guy. Shout out to him. He's really getting on my... But anyway, nobody's talking about placement of the people in DRC Congo, in South Sudan, in Ethiopia, in Eritrea, in Somali, the raping of women, the sexual assaults that are literally on the rise. Nobody's talking about that. Everyone is so much focused about Israel and Palestine, which literally barely concerns us. And I'm sorry if this really hurts you, but we have our own Africans, the indigenous people we know that literally should be originating in those places. They're not even being shown on the map. We don't even know what percentage of the true Palestinians we have there. Nobody's talking about that. Everyone is so much focused about the invaders who took over part of Africa, named it Middle East. Nobody even is concerned about that type of history. So come on, this is just so crazy, man. And I'll be going through the comments to see what people have to say. Because you'll always hear in these kind of meetings, people clapping back. There's someone who's watching who does not understand how politics is being ruled. We think this is actually something beautiful for us. A European mastered speech for the people. And you buy that. It is quite crazy if I try to look at most of every day. I have to come here report nothing but just negativity. If you literally hear any positive news coming right now, it's either from Mali, which are literally being attacked heavily. It is quite a sad situation, and we need to escape this. Like I said the other time, it is a high time, Africans, where we need to focus on happiness. Enough of all these negativity reports. We need to talk about them. We need to address them. It is so crazy. It is crazy. Shout out to you, Lando Winter. Greetings to you too. Hope you're doing amazing. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing great. And I also see Genovia has some comments to make over there. I'll be going through the comments just in a few, so stick through.
Appreciates and commends efforts by Ghana through the Accra Initiative and ECOWAS towards the fight against terrorism and in addressing resurgence of the unconstitutional changes of government in the Sahel and West African region. As a nation, Kenya looks forward to receiving continued support from Ghana in addressing terrorism and other threats so as to guarantee peace.
Lol, Ghana. Is that Ghana? John Mosquito, hello, where are you? Ghana. Oh my God. Is that a country to depend on? I'm just so sorry. Are we depending on Nana Akufo-Addo right now? Oh my God.
And security
no.
in Africa, in our region, and globally as well. I informed His Excellency the President that Kenya has been engaging in supporting peace initiatives in the whole Horn of Africa.
Where? You? Oh my God. I'm in the country. These people are supporting genocide over Haitians. Okay? That is what they are going to do over there. Nothing else. You know, there's nothing. There's no use you've supported in peace in any country. Let's talk about Congo. Not even Congo. Your own country, Mr. Ruto. Your own country. This is just so crazy. Oh my God. I always feel so bad because every time I go through the comments of most of the videos like this, you'll always see so many disappointed Africans and hurt Africans who always say, you know, it is Kenya, nothing is going to change. It is Ghana, nothing is going to change. It's Nigeria. It is such a hard and very painful comment to read because until when will you keep on making those comments? This kind of speeches being made every single day, it's really, really frustrating. It's really frustrating. We need to do better.
The Great Lakes region, including DRC, South Sudan, and Somalia. Kenya stands in support of all efforts, both in West and in our region, aimed towards fostering peace and security in our continent. It has become clear during our conversation that to silence the guns in Africa as a vital condition.
Oh, they're the same people distributing guns. I mean, shut the F up. You're the same people distributing the guns, Ruto. We know you're the same people funding the distractions in Marsabit, in Turkana. 11-year-old babies are being raped because of what you literally want to please the white man, you know? The white man. This is so crazy. Come on. Talk about Congo. Who's funding the war in Congo? Where are the M23 rebels? Kagame has no money. Nothing. Where is he getting the funds to give and provide the M23 rebels with weapons? Fine. Where is the funds coming from? We just read the other day. The cats with the small hats make money out of nothing. They literally make money out of nothing. So where's the money coming from, number one? Who's just making all these amounts of money? Where are these weapons coming from? Yeah, come on. Man, I'm tired. I'm really tired. And Africa, the youths, you need to wake up. You just need to wake up. We have old Negroes talking and dictating to us how they know much better of leading a country. But there's nothing they're doing. And pardon my French, but it's just the truth. These people are just here for greed, power, which actually they lack. It's just power that they have in the continent of Africa. But when they go outside, they're beating the traffic on New York streets. Need to do better.
For the establishment of economic growth, we always, but to endow the Africa Union, our regional
organization, the African Union,
economic communities with greater capacity to do more in pursuit of peace and stability.
I indicated to President Ruto that we in Ghana continue to reinforce
there goes Nana Akufo-Addo,
our commitments in international peace and security, especially in helping to end the scourge of terrorism and violent extremism on the continent. We reject wholeheartedly the recent trend of coups d'etats and unconstitutional changes in Ghana that are threatening to derail democratic gains on the continent, especially in West Africa. It is our firm belief.
I can't keep on listening to this. I'm so sorry. I mean, it's offensive to me. It's really, it's depressing. It is really making me mad, and I don't want to be mad. I want to have a good show. I want to have a fun show and a good analyzation. But shout out to you, Lando. You're saying that Africans' main issue is religion and tribalism, which are one in the same, and we identify with our own. I agree with you, and I think when you talk about religion, Africans are really waking up on that right now. And we've been seeing it, especially the same country Nana Akufo-Addo is talking about, improving technology, science, and all of that nonsense he's talking about. We've been seeing the same people burning down the image of the people we worship, The same thing has been happening in Kenya, in Nigeria. So Africans are really waking up when you talk about religion. Tribalism, I think we should start with Nigeria. 250 what? These people can barely even share the way we share ugali as a country, Kenya. Who doesn't eat ugali in Kenya? I don't know who doesn't. Personally, I don't know anyone who doesn't. But you can't even share your own culture because of the differences you have in the name of tribalism. It is crazy, but I do agree with you 100%. And I also see you saying oppression created a false identity and complete confusion. We operate backwards. I do agree with you. And shout out to also Genovia also says it's really interesting what I'm hearing here. What's going on? Well, Karibu Sana, this is the Blackout Fire Network. This is how we get to do it. Raw and true. Okay? Raw and true. And I also see you saying that everyone seems to pay more attention to what's happening with the US rather than paying attention for what's happening in other countries, especially in a country considered to be smaller than them. Well, we need to put our focus everywhere. Personally, for here on the Blackout Fire Network, we put the focus of Black people where we are globally. We don't care whether you are in Kenya, in the Caribbean, whether you are in Florida, somewhere in the streets in Canada. We consider you part of us, and we want to talk about what you're going through. We want to talk about how we should deal with all this oppression of the Black people. And that's why I really feel on fire, but I'm trying to take it down. I'm on drug on fire, but I'm trying to take it down, you know. I'm really frustrated by what Ruto is really talking about. 36 billion has already been pocketed to take our troops to Haiti. And then you want to talk about how we should focus on security, you know, between Ghana and Kenya. Be better. Tell people the truth. You're a puppet. Tell people the truth. You know, it won't hurt to tell people the truth. But moving on to the next conversation, apart from that, as related to the same debate, or rather why African countries are not working, is why we saw recently Togo making or coming up with a very kind of constitution personally I've never seen, where we saw them moving the country from a presidential nation to a parliamentary nation. And we know all this, what is all about. But I can see that after all this, they have actually forwarded their elections forward, and it is a tough decision. You know, you can't hold an elections once we've seen the constitution is being changed from this to this. You know, it's all about dictatorship we're talking about here. I've never seen any kind of a law that works like that. Actually, I think Togo, for me, since I started understanding politics, is the first one. But they're saying that Togo has delayed parliamentary and regional elections amid tensions following controversial constitutional reform. And the reform approved by lawmakers last week replaced the presidential system with a parliamentary one, and it is also hand executive power to the prime minister, reducing the presidency to a symbolic role. Opposition parties have rejected the reform, fearing it could let President Traoré stay in power, and he succeeded his father, who died in 2005 after ruling the country with an iron fist for 38 years. We're talking about some Museveni nonsense here. Again, dictatorship, exploiting of resources. It's the same copy and paste situation in Africa. We're too focused on the wrong things, and I do agree with you, Lando. Africans are too focused on the wrong things. Shout out to you, Jiba Jaba, Karibu Sana. Hope you're doing amazing. Good day to you too, and Karibu Sana to today's debate. We are so focused on the wrong things. 38 years in power. I mean, anyway, let me be patient with my people, okay? Let me be patient. Is the frustration I have and the bitterness of understanding everything, and where I want Africans to get all this, like connect the dots easily. You know, the numbers, we need the numbers, the frustration, the rage with the numbers is going to be amazing. You need a Kamlesh, you know, you need a Kamlesh type of, you need tens, hundreds of Kamlesh type of energy and rage like mine. You need a rage, full of rage, like the way I have right now. Not with life, but with these politicians. It is so crazy. 38 years in power. Museveni, how many years right now? And I don't know if Uganda is supposed to head to elections anytime soon. How many years has Museveni been in power? Museveni, come on. How many years has Museveni been in power? I am. That was since 19. Okay. Now, let's see. Oh my God. That is crazy. But yeah, that 1986. So let's see how many years. 38. The same thing. Yeah. So I'm not wrong. We're talking about the same thing as Uganda. The same copy and paste situation. You know, where we have puppets who are not making a goddamn thing work, and we keep on selecting them. Okay, assumption, we're selecting them into power. We need revolution as a people. We need revolution. We really do require revolution. We need revolution. I think first, we need revolution. Oh my God, we need revolution. We do need revolution. This is so crazy. It's such actually a saddening report to even give. 38 years in power, you know, they don't want to change the system. Now the son wants to actually extend it, you know, and this is why they're changing the whole thing. Come on, until when? But I also see kids says that the same old nonsense, Joby. Yes, it is the same thing. Shout out to Lando who says that any government system given to us, it is created to destroy everything Africans. Exactly. Everything African. Sorry, yeah. That is true. This is so crazy. You know, sometimes you want to go back. I'd want to go back to now the creation of this white man and ask the person, the people who are responsible in creating this white man, what did we do to deserve all this? That is just the question. What did Africans do to deserve all this? Why did we have to go through slavery? You know, it sounds crazy to question, but it's something if you try just sit down and look at how everything works and how Africans were so on the bottom. I mean, we are rising. We used to be the rulers, but you want to question, what did we do wrong to deserve all this long period of suffering like that? If you come here, I know we're not gonna finish the show. If you come here, I know we're not gonna finish the show right now. You can hop in for 20 minutes, maybe. Then we'll discuss about South Africa. No, we can hop in for 10 minutes. Then we discuss about South Africa. But what did Africans do to deserve all the hatred? You know, it's how these people took over the power, ruled over Africans, control every information. Do you guys ever sit down and ask yourself that, or is this just a question that posed because this just clicked my mind right now? What did Africans do to deserve all this? It is just so crazy. It is so crazy and such a sad situation. But we'll be checking onto Togo what is going to be happening. We saw the opposition parties, of course, rejecting this reform, fearing that it could let the president stay into power, like we said. And we're going to see how it's going to be happening, because I can also see that the opposition parties did boycott Togo's previous election and are poorly presented in Togo's parliament. As a result, the constitutional change was approved almost anonymously, with only one legislator voting against and one other abstaining. It is, I'll be taking you guys throughout the week to see, of course, and also during next week to see what's the decision that is going to be made when it comes to election in the country, if they're going to move to a parliamentary system or to still stick on a presidential system, or what is going to be happening. But of course, moving on to the next conversation is about the Speaker of South Africa, as we get to South Africa as the major conversation of the day. That was 2 weeks, and last week we've been having a debate of the South Africa Speaker, who was offered some amount of money in terms of bribe and a wig in terms of bribe. Talk about colonization. Now she has been actually turned herself into the police, and I don't know if this is going to serve any justice to, or she's going to face the consequences of what she did, because we know, again, we're talking about the same corrupt system. They're saying the South Africa's Speaker of Parliament has handed herself over the police a day after she resigned over corruption allegations. She did resign, that was yesterday, that is true. And Mrs. Mapis in Centurion, 40 kilometers, which is 24 miles from Johannesburg, yesterday. And she is due to make her first appearance. Now, that is today. She's made to make her first appearance at the court on charges of corruption. The politician is accused of soliciting bribes and in return for awarding contracts during her time of defense minister. Well, this is a norm in Africa, and this is why we keep on seeing judges being changed, as we have our very own leaders like the president being found, anything leading to anything that is going to terminate anyone's name. We always see the judges being changed. Someone is going to be changed, but are we going to be seeing if for real she's going to be facing consequences of actions, or if is she going to be bailed out with some amount of money? The same thing they keep on doing, and that is how the story is forgotten, because we've been seeing the same cases with the gold smuggling that has been happening in the continent of Africa through most white women married to the African puppets, and they just bail out, and that's how they walk scot-free. Nothing gets to happen to them. Nobody is going to be held accountable for the billions stolen from the African. The exploitation of resources, literally, people. It is crazy. But to the major focus of the day is about the in South Africa. And apparently news that hit me today is that across the border of bodies, people are now killing each other. Rumors have it like that. So I'm going to read the article as you get to see what is really happening right here. So we know the country again on May, they're going on election. And we're looking forward to see who's going to be installed back into power. But as they head for election, we had yesterday even from the lady, for those who are tuned in on Iwaton's show, that is Let's Pop. The Congolese lady was here. She has been to South Africa. She said that xenophobia there is real, and South Africans are threatened because they feel like you're going to take and snatch their jobs away. And for me here, before we even get to read the articles, this is where we see the effect of corruption and poor leadership and the the control of white supremacy, what effect it has brought to African people. We used to be so blessed to the point where we used to share about the people like, the kingdom of Mali. When you talk about the richest man in Africa, Mansa Musa, him, leading countries into bankruptcy because of giving gold for free and all that. We had literally an ending, and which we still have, is just that we're not the ones in control of it. The people are mining, and the company settlers are not Africans. We still actually are very continent of Africa. We still have it all. We just need to have control of it. But this is what corruption, poor leadership, and the control of white supremacy has led Africans to, where we no longer know how to share. We no longer how to accommodate each other. We no longer know how to tolerate each other. Then understand then the borderism, fake borderism that has been put here. We think we're different people. It has also caused a big effect on African people, for real, in terms of trading, in terms of businesses, in terms of so many things, even culture. But if you sit down and connect, if you talk about where we need to get rid of the visas, where we can see these two Kuns talking about, if you get rid of the visas, this is how you allow Africans to learn each other's culture and understand that we are the same people. You might speak different from me, but we share the same traditions and cultures. It might apply slightly different from yours, but we are still the same people. This is quite a sad story right here that I'm about to read. The testimonies from the people are really crazy, and I want us to go through it. They're saying that many migrants risk it all to reach South Africa, making a notoriously dangerous journey across the border from Zimbabwe. Having fled poverty and desperation elsewhere in Africa, they feel they have no choice. But as elections approach, xenophobic sentiments is on the rise, and South Africa government is under pressure to tighten the border. The men who raped Poti Muravesi did not care that she was visibly pregnant. They attacked her with glass bottles too. She told them, pointing a large and gauged scar on her farm. Now her pregnancy, almost a full term, she is recovering at a church run shelter in the South African border town of Musina. And as she says, where I try to sleep, sometimes I see those men what they did to me. Musina is well known as a place of refuge for migrants who, like Murevesi, she sounds like Museveni, who, like Murevesi, sleep unnoticed over the border. The migrants who make it have survived a difficult trek through the bush. It is lawless and unforgiving territory. Wild animals and gangs and of criminals are a consistent threat on that border. Stories of theft, beating, rapes, and killings are very common on the border of South Africa, and they're saying it is dangerous. This is one of the Zimbabwean men who only gave his name as George was telling. He says, you see skeletons, you see someone already killed. 2 or 3 months ago, where we met him as let me say that, where we met him as a night fell in Musina, and groups of men returned to a dignity compound of tin roofed huts. The lucky ones had found some casual work in town, earning little cash to send back to their families in neighboring countries. And I remember that was back in 2022 or in 2021, if you guys can remember. We had South Africa saying that if your passport or visa has expired, you are no longer going to be working there. And that was actually being directed majority, I think, to the Zimbabweans, if you guys can remember. It was, I think, in 2021, December. Yeah, they say that if the visas or passports have expired, that they should pack their things and leave the country. They permit over there, and that they need to go back to their countries. And they're saying that no one knows for sure how many undocumented migrants' lives under the radar of authorities in South Africa, the continent's most advanced economy. The last census found that there were more than 24 million foreigners, nearly half of them Zimbabweans, living in the country, accounting to just over 3% of the population. But there are no official estimates for the number of those who have entered illegally, and with the general election scheduled for the end of May. So Zimbabwe that is South Africa, sorry, as South Africa is supposed to be going to, of course, election at the end of May, and the illegal immigration has become a highly charged political issue. The South Africa authorities say that they are tightening the border security, and they say that we saw for ourselves the enormity of the task. Along the road of Musina towards the Limpopo River, which separates South Africa and Zimbabwe, coils of metal glints in the underground, and it remains a border fence, famously piecemeal and Trump. In general, this is crazy. We're not supposed to be having any type of xenophobic behaviors. When we talk about the gangs, well, in South Africa, I know there's very easy access of weapons, number one. I think South Africa is one of the top, I think, number one country in Africa that what's the term I want to use? South Africa, I'd literally consider it as America because of, one, the development, 2, access of weapons, which, you know, the largest of the population, also quite of a population there. We have white people, and I've noticed that there's always also mass killings. You noticed this last year. Mass killings are actually very, very high in South Africa, where you hear like 20 people are being killed by a person of interest, they call them, you know, and all that. But you talk about the gangs, that is something I think personally it's a pending matter why we have gangs in South Africa. But in every African country, we do have crime on the rise. When you talk about, because if you talk about the gangs, it could be it is literally the Africans, and majority of them it's those who are unemployed. And we know the reason why we have crime and theft on the rise within the Black community, no matter where we are, is because of lack of job opportunities, the biasness in the community and the society. And that is how personally I feel. But you can let me know what you guys think about this. But they also go ahead and say that let me try see what Cyril Ramaphosa said. They're saying that the South African government wants to take back control. Last year, Cyril Ramaphosa officially launched a new border force. Mike Siampopo, the commissioner of the Border Management Authority, told us he was sending 400 newly trained officers to the border and procuring drones, body cams, and motorbikes to improve surveillance. And he says, I can assure you that the current leadership of the country understands the critically tricality of this work, but even Mr. Masiapoto acknowledges it will take time to really secure the country's border. And he also says that we have to fortify the environment. Hopefully, in the next we should be able to have succeeded. Well, one thing you should be focusing as Africans is how you can get rid of white people in your own continent. God damn it. Leave alone Zimbabweans. Leave alone Zambians. Leave alone Kenyans. Let people flex in their own continent. It is the African continent. What are you telling me not being in South Africa? Are you crazy? I should knock you on the mouth for you telling me that. Okay? And I'm going to be arrested probably because of that. I should knock you on the mouth for you telling me I should not be here. I look like you. Do I look like a white man to you? What you talking about? The first thing we should be focused on is how we can literally check on the percentage of the land again owned by white people. Can we take that back? Can we start working together and stop considering ourselves different people? Ask yourself why only you are the only race, while the other race is never complaining, taking it to the street to demonstrate. Only you, the black people. It's a high time you start questioning yourself about that. Look at things on a different angle. It's only African people who are always taking it to the street. If you look at literally countries like France, these people are demonstrating about the reality of what is happening. And they're working together. Hello, they're not considering themselves, you speak different, your slang is different, or you don't talk Kikuyu. No, they're working together. So it's a high time as African people, you drop the nonsense. Because Cyril Ramaphosa is not going to do anything. You have to start working amongst yourselves. That is just all I'm going to say. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. It is quite sad to see that these all white supremacy effects. Nothing else. White supremacy effect and poor leadership. But let me go through the comments very quickly as I get to wind up. I see Keith in the building. He said that I'll stay out then. Yeah, kindly do. We'll discuss that maybe later tomorrow. And I also see you were saying that she said it's bad, Joby. And you're also saying that, yes, Joby, you shared everything. And I also see you saying that you still have it, Joby, you just don't control it. I agree with you. And also see you saying exactly, that's a fact. And just saying that they don't mind about the Indians and Chinese in South Africa, just the Africans. I mean, why won't you see your own enemy but see me as an enemy? You sound crazy to me. I mean, why won't you see your own enemy who's very racist, who's gonna literally chop off your salary if you don't come to work, who's gonna fire you immediately? If you try to do anything crazy. I can try accommodate you. I can try to consider you. I can think it over. I am African. I don't have no racism in me. So I'm going to try look at your situation like, hey, you need this the same way I do. So I'm going to try to consider you. So why won't you try look at the difference? You think I'm the enemy? Are you crazy? Are you insane? But anyway, I also see Keith says probably lions and hyenas and gangs are on the border. Well, the gangs, but also I think that the country itself is xenophobic, because this is not the first time we're talking about xenophobia being on the rise on South Africa. And I'll believe it because of our YouTuber from Kenya who went there, and then she was told, you are the reason why these white people don't respect us. I'm like, what? You are a South African, a black South African, telling me, a Kenyan in your country, an African like you, actually. Hashtag Kenyan. African in general. I am an African just like you, coming from another country. But you think I'm the problem why white people don't respect us globally? Do you know how crazy you sound? You are the problem. I'm trying to imagine someone telling me that. You are the problem. You're the main reason why. Shit. Crazy. But I also see Keith says, yeah, it is the continent most developed country. Yes, that is true. South Africa. Just saying yes, Joby, just like America, exactly. And also you're saying that yes, exactly, because of unemployment. And also you're saying that they don't know any better, Joby. They are ignorant. Well, it's a hard time you put your ignorance aside, because you're gonna continue always demonstrating and marching. You're losing your voice every single day because you need your voice heard. Imagine the white man just raises a finger as you raise both your arms. Can you imagine? Oh, I didn't even know that was something, you know? Imagine the white man just raises a finger and the government listens to him. But you, as a black man, you have to raise both your hands so that the government can listen to you. Oh, God damn it. I nailed that. It's crazy. But I also see kids say, yes, Joby, they worked together. Yep. They're working together. So it's a high time you know your place as African people, you know. I don't know, should I say level up? We need to level up. We've been on the bottom for so long. And it's a high time you level up as African people, especially in the continent. And I mean, not just in the continent, because, my weekend, I'm still puzzled by what I saw during the weekend. We have especially I thought it was just the women. We also have some black men in America who just, here it's very loose, you know. It's very loose. Very loose. Very loose. No. Very. But anyway, have an amazing day. Let me go to the comments on YouTube and see what Jibba Jabba is saying here with me. He says, by trickery, we get duped. I should just say that the trickery creates self-hate and that makes us vulnerable. I agree with you. And this is saying bribes for bundles. It is crazy. And you're saying that is horrible. Neteri says, a tall, dark, and handsome. I'm tall, dark, and handsome. Lol. Why are you marketing yourself? Why have you been doing this though? Why are you marketing yourself, Neteri, to me? Why have you been doing that? Anyway, Jibajaba says 100% lack of employment and erosion of the nuclear family creates violence and crime. I agree with you completely. You say, Keith, exactly. Excellent points, 100%. And I also see everyone who has been with me on the conversation of today. And of course, have an amazing rest part of your day. Thank you to everyone who has been with me right here. Kindly, if you come here to make comments that are really uncomfortable, I'm going to block you. I'm not going to give you the access to tune into my show. You can go. Don't try and make me uncomfortable. That is just all I'm going to warn you, okay? Kindly. Let this be the last time, because I'm going to block you again. Kindly. Stop making comments that are so uncomfortable. I mean, we're here to have a serious discussions, and you should stick to that. Just stick to that. But anyway, family, Asanteni says, thank you so much, Jibajaba. Thank you so much to Giovannia. I hope you're still there. I don't know if you're still there. I hope you are relating to what we're discussing. And that is a brother from Jamaica, made a new friend. And Karibu Sana to the Black Hot Fire Network. And shout out to also Smart J and to all the amazing silent listeners who have been with us. Shout out to also Mr. Black Hot Fire, who has also been with me. I appreciate you for giving your thoughts on everything. And I also see Jibajaba says, is listening while he's at work, and I wish you also a beautiful, amazing day. See you guys later on the Black Kings frequency. Catch Shmani and Kamlesh on the network and on the radio on the BHF countdown. That is if our network, our internet behaves. Our internet has been really, really bad, but I hope you guys today did not struggle listening to me. I don't know if I was cutting off or if it was just okay. But we've been having issues with our internet for this whole week. But have an amazing day, you guys. See you later.
was sleeping for a long, long time. When you awake or sleeping, say my name no time. I know you want.